Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, November 21st, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, new IFBB pros of all ages, welcome back to another special edition of RxMuscle.com's Recap Wednesday, where we're kicking off today's action with a rundown of the overall winners at last weekend's NPC Nationals. In the men's bodybuilding, just as we predicted last week, Hunter Labrada came in and took care of business on his way to winning the overall in front of a capacity crowd. With his victory, he continues the Labrada legacy, started by his dad, legendary Hall of Fame bodybuilder Lee Labrada. In women's bodybuilding, Akemi Jones set the tone early and never looked back as she cruised to the victory. Trevion Daniels became the newest IFBB pro in classic physique after locking up a convincing overall win. In men's physique, the overall champ, Jamal Hill, looks like he's someone you'll be hearing a lot more from over the next few years. And smooth flowing lines of the women's physique winner, Ashley Bader, were enough to carry her all the way to the top, while Tiffany Walker emerged from a very deep lineup of figure athletes to score the big victory. And in bikini, the stunning Alexandria Blair managed to separate herself from a gigantic group of competitors to take home a well-deserved victory. For all the contest photos and placings, you can head over to npcnewsonline.com. This past weekend, in the pro division, the hottest ticket in town was way out in Tokyo, Japan, where another awesome event took place over at the Japan Pro. In the 212 division, David Henry made us look smart again by bringing what was probably close to his all-time best in to cement the win and add another chapter to his legacy. Narrowly edging out second-place giant killer in his own right, Sean Clarita. We also want to give a very special shout-out to third-place finisher Jose Raymond, who closed out his pro career with another legendary Boston Mass performance. In the men's physique division, reigning Olympia champ Brandon Hendrickson made it look easy on the way to putting an exclamation point on his historic season. And in the bikini division, a scorching Brina Martinez came in and cleaned house to earn the biggest victory of her pro career. If you've ever sat around and thought to yourself, you know what, I sure wish I could go someplace called Faroe Island in Europe to see a bikini show. Well, boy, let me tell you, last weekend your lifelong dream finally came true. Somewhere over there on the other side of the Atlantic, we had some hot and heavy bikini action in the first ever Iron Rebel Pro, where UK knockout Karina Skaronska brought home a win for the second straight week. Finishing in second was the Italian Alessia Fachin, who held off eventual third-place finisher in Denmark's Steen Hansen. Fourth place went to another Denmark import in Helene Christine Lamhawk, and wrapping up the top five here was Aurelia Basoli. Upward mobility and the ability to move to a better situation is one of the things that really defines free agency in sports culture right now. And last weekend we saw the bodybuilding equivalent of landing an all-pro talent when Neil Hill, the longtime architect behind 212 icon Flex Lewis, announced that he'd officially linked up with Big Ramy for the 2019 season. For Ramy, the move makes sense on paper considering he's cut ties with the Camel Crew at Oxygen Gym. And for Hill, the move seems like a no-brainer because guys with the level of talent like that just don't drop into your lap every day. As of right now, we still haven't heard talk about logistics from either one of these two camps about what might be up next on the agenda. But given the history of Neil Hill and his athletes, I'd be willing to bet that we don't see too many official Ramy updates until we start getting closer to next year's Olympia. Sometimes in Spanish you hear people say, "Más vale mana que fuerza," which means it's better to have skill than strength. But when you've got them both working the way figure all-star Sandra Grajales does, you can stay quiet and let people say whatever they want, because your success speaks louder than words ever could. A few days ago, we saw the Grajales camp release video from her shoulder workout that shows the three-time Olympian looking as good as we've seen her during the off-season. Over the last year and a half, Grajales has really come into her own in this division with a couple of really impressive performances. So if she keeps that trend line moving upward, next year she could end up being a legitimate threat to win one of the division's major titles. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.